industry has brought so many interesting phenomena, and the so-called graveyards in China are among the most intriguing ones. Namely, every bigger city in China has at least one of them. A bunch of electric cars left in the field to die slowly. According to some estimations, millions of EVs are rotting away in China, and we've found 5 reasons why this is happening. Number 5. Car sharing companies that went out of business. When you look at these so-called EV graveyards, no matter in which city of China they're located, they usually have a couple of things in common. For example, all of these electric cars have license plates which indicate they were registered once. Moreover, they're usually painted in the same color and often include no more than a couple of models, which indicates that they were bought by car-sharing companies. That's exactly what happened. Car sharing companies were the first massive EV customers. Back in the day when EVs were a brand new thing, it was hard to convince people to make such a radical switch. So the government decided to boost the sharing companies massive subsidies for electric cars. Suddenly, EVs became integral parts of their fleets, and if you look at statistics from the early EV days, most of the purchases were cases of private EV customers were rare. Nevertheless, that made a huge impact on the segment, but it left many. Once the Chinese government stopped giving massive incentives to car sharing companies, most of them went out of business. These companies didn't get a chance. And since we talk about the early stage of electrification, there's no need to explain how all those EVs got outdated in just a few years and now are pretty much unusable. That's where all those EV graveyards come from. Number 4, an organized scheme. No one is clean in this. While authorities use car-sharing companies to boost EV growth, EV startups also took advantage of generous incentives, because without that massive support, most EV makers wouldn't even start their business. Back in the day, the Chinese government was strongly determined to become a dominant force in the EV segment. It was giving massive support to pretty much every EV company because the criteria was incredibly low. Practically, all that those companies needed to fulfill was to meet certain range requirements, which were usually no more than 62 miles. The second more complicated requirement was to sell a certain number of vehicles. Back in the day, there were over 500 EV startups registered in China, so it's pretty clear that it wasn't easy for most of them to find enough customers. It was time for an organized scheme, which once again involved car-sharing companies who became the main customers. But it was clear that such a state can't last forever. A few years later, once the whole industry got on its feet, the government became less generous with its support. From that moment, it became clear that most of these EV startups would go out of business because their business models weren't sustainable. Not only that, their EVs weren't particularly good either, so all those EVs sold to car-sharing companies were barely driven. Quickly enough, they became outdated with uncompetitive range and performance, so the only direction they could head to was the so-called EV graveyards. Number 3. Driving up EV infrastructure.
Presentamos Superpower Saver. Greg no puede volar ni dominar los elementos.
Today, China is not just the largest EV maker in the world, but also by far the biggest EV market, with nearly 9 million electric cars sold just in the last year. Of course, such impressive growth wouldn't be possible without adequate infrastructure. This means that the Chinese government had to figure out how to keep the two aspects of the EV
Oh, by
industry
the way, can you
growing
guys
at the
hear
same
me?
pace. That was anything but an easy task, because creating a sustainable EV system requires a good charging network. But to build a charging network, you need a certain number of electric cars so charging companies can make money. It's kind of a vicious cycle, so the Chinese authorities had to intervene to get things rolling. This once again brings us to car-sharing companies. Those were the first major buyers of electric cars, and the government consciously sacrificed most of them just to boost the process that would make China a global EV powerhouse. So all
Their country paid money for all of those cars to be sacrificed so they could lead the way in EV car making. And now you're finding out the dark truth about the economies of the EV cars. And China's got hundreds of millions of old, dead, no good electric vehicles in their economy, along with all their other problems.
those EVs that eventually ended up in graveyards served to drive up the infrastructural development. Chinese authorities sacrificed many car-sharing companies as well as many EV makers, considering that 80% of EV startups already went out of business. Their contribution to the
80%.
development of Chinese EV
All
infrastructure
that
was
money
huge, and
that
as a
country
result,
gave to
many Chinese
startups, and they went belly up. That is just sick. Let me get you another one here. Hold on a second, guys. I got something else here. This is about economies, guys. It's all about the economies, how you work the economies, how you see how they work, and how to know what to invest in.
This is absolutely mind-blowingly insane. But you've got to give Toyota credit. They have made one of the most complex
What's up, ATG?
engines or complex drivetrains in the history of the automotive industry. And if you love complexity, this is going to be for you. Toyota says that it has finally developed a hydrogen-powered engine.
We have ourselves a special guest. How is it going, Mr. Ian?
Hey there, Neil. Good, thank you.
I was just filling up time with some cool videos, trying to explain a little bit about how larger economies grow and at what cost, and the cost that they don't tell you as they grow, that if you know about it, you can see it, and there's the opportunity. And I was using an example of the electric car vehicle and how it's fixing, well, it is collapsing in China, and they've already got a couple 100 million of them just lying around. It's like, who's recycling them? So, businesses will be formed to do that and whatnot, and that's all part of it, all robbing from the people to create jobs that aren't going to last.
Yeah, that's one of the worst aspects of communism, is that top-down dictatorship.
Yeah,
you are going to make cars. I mean, throughout recent Chinese history, last century, I mean, they had the so-called Great Leaps Forward. Every village, every town had to have an iron smelting blast furnace. And they made low-quality steel, which was useless. Whilst no one was planting food. 30 million people starved to death. It's
and that's still the mindset that that country has.
It's still the mindset, and the consequence are being disastrous for China. They've wasted all of that energy, all of that labor, the materials. They've polluted, and they got that toxic heap of crappy cars sitting there to burn, rot, leak.
and explode, catch on fire, destroy more of the environment and everything. It's like, and it's all been planned. I've seen it. As a matter of fact, here's a prediction for the future for the automaker. The largest Chinese EV car maker just laid off all of their employees and bought robots to replace them, but they're already going into bankruptcy court. So what's going to happen is they're going to sell all these brand new robotic machines that replace humans to other car dealers, and they're going to actually replace humans, and they're going to get it like for 10 cents on the dollar, because it's going to be secondhand, because the Chinese EV company bought it as they were going out of business.
Yeah.
What's the Chinese company going to do? They're going to liquidate. They just bought all these new robots to replace all their people, and they're still going into bankruptcy. So some industry is going to pick that up, and jobs going to go bye-bye.
Big problem in China was the government was giving incentives for every car that they sold. So as long as it was registered, they could say it was sold. So they built and registered them, got the payoff, which made them a profit from the whole deal. And then they just parked them up in a field and then made another 10,000 or whatever cars. So it's
and that's what I was just showing in that video, was that exact thing. And now they've got, I think, hundreds. The show said hundreds of millions, but I'm sure they're close to at least 100 million of EVs just sitting around, and people don't understand what's going on in the world around them, and they're still thinking, it's like, it's hard to grasp.
Yeah, and I don't think people realize, they have all this fanfare, of how amazing some of these Chinese vehicles are, but about 15 years ago, they tried to bring Chinese pickup trucks into the UK. I can't remember the brand name now, but I think it's spelled the same whichever way you said it. And they were rubbish, and people were conned into buying them. Like when people bought Ladas or some of the Fiats, 3 years and they were worthless. And so now they're trying to export them around the world as well.
There was this one cool EV truck in pieces is how it was built, where you could exchange pieces, like you could change out the whole, not the mechanical part, the working part of it. I don't recall the name of it. I did a lot of research on it.
Did that look like a giant early Land Rover? just flat sides, because that was the Bollinger.
Yeah, and they've already gone.
Have they gone bust?
They're going. Happens in the EV industry different than the way it's going now.
Yeah.
So
that was a shame. That Bollinger actually had a very interesting design. They had a motor on each wheel, and then they had a gearbox, so you had 18-inch ground clearance from wheel to wheel. It was a great design idea.
I like the Japanese.
Yeah,
I like the Japanese thought process. Go ahead.
I guess to be competitive, you need so many billions to develop the project, launch a product, market the product, get dealerships. It's I don't know if there's any Tesla owners watching, but anecdotally, you see if anything goes wrong, you can wait 6 months for it to get fixed because there's no widespread dealer network that can repair them. So you're sort of stuck. Same with the Rivian. I saw an article. One guy had a little dent on the rear corner below the rear light, and it was going to be a $42,000 repair bill to take the whole side panel off, which was the side and part of the roof. They'd have to take half the truck apart.
Yep. That's part of it. I
progress.
Exactly. It's progress. I actually worked at the Tesla plant. We redid some mechanical things that made everything move underground, conveyor system, and while it was still here in Fremont, and they had a lot of mechanical stuff, but there were one piece in everything, to where if one piece got damaged, replaced the whole thing. And then 10 years ago, I was looking at this, and I had to move out of the way because they had these little cars that were mechanical around. They had little yellow lines that they were, and I said, we're going to own one of these cars, because if someone dings that part of it, well, daggone expensive is that going to be? Expensive as buying a new one. But that program I was just showing shows that people, instead of repairing them, are just saying, okay, I'll just buy a new one. It's like, how sustainable is that product line?
Yeah. Completely.
Here, I have you here, and hey, Sith and William, I have you here, so people are here to hear about the new stuff that you might be able to offer.
Oh, I didn't quite catch that. I'm getting a bit of distortion now. I don't know if it's your end.
I don't know. I've done nothing. So, but I did. There is solar flares are real bad right now, and it says. Let me see if I can't change a couple settings here. Hold on. Settings. Dang, I wish JP was here. Standard. Hold on. I think I might have it here.
Sounding clear.
I changed the settings. It was at 480 to 740. Is that any better?
Sounding good.
Hopefully. William, tell me if you still see it, a laggy feed. But anyhow, as I was saying, I had you here to speak about anything new in the osmium, crystallized osmium area since you got back from Germany. I haven't had you on. I actually
I mean, I think we share the news that the production is going to be capped at 350 kilos. I think we did, didn't we?
Talked about. I'm changing my settings here again, try and get a better feed. That's as good as my computer will take. Yeah, about the shortage through clerical error or
osmium trades being counted as fresh osmium, the same osmium being bought and sold, and it was just presumed there was a lot more physical osmium
because it was being rotated around because people were using. Oh, I lost you a little bit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, I lost you a little bit on the last part of that, the statement.
Yeah, the same osmium had been traded and retraded, and it was presumed it was additional osmium that was available on the market. Because obviously it's not a regulated market. There's no commodity. It's not traded as a commodity. So that there was zero transparency of how much osmium there actually is.
The first is people starting to play one thinking like that.
We've got Seth there saying, "Leave the feed on me."
Yeah, I am. So has there been a run on osmium since that announcement?
It's still building steadily, not a run yet. Thankfully, there's a delay before the price increase. After they announced that there would be a price increase, only a couple of weeks after they announced the maximum production of being 350 kilos, a lot of people who previously started trying to sell osmium, who hadn't really put much work into it, they rang the institute in a panic saying, "Will you delay the price increase to give us a few weeks to reopen existing, old contacts and have a go at selling it again?" So they agreed to delay it 4 to 6 weeks, but that was nearly 2 weeks ago. So the price rise will be in 2 to 4 weeks' time. Apart from the adjustment based on the Swiss franc and German inflation, and obviously the dollar exchange rate to the euro. So we're up to about $14.35, I think, today on the spot. Oh, I got a comment there from Art Collector, Goldbacks. I love the concept. I think they're a great idea, but I do find the premium hard. I think it's nearly 100% premium because you're doing such a tiny fraction. Obviously, you've got to pay for the manufacturing process and the distribution, and if someone's reaching it, their markup. So if they could bring that down, which I guess they could, the more popular they get, the bigger volumes, they could, I would have thought, bring down the premium.
Yeah, I'm not too big of a fan because of the price of them. I think you're buying more of the artwork. They are beautiful pieces, but I look at it more as artwork than money. And that's how I would justify paying that high a price for it. In which case, they've already lost the appeal of money because I bought it for the artwork because of the price. But it is beautiful artwork. I can't deny the artwork on it.
Yeah,
it's just I don't find it a good value.
No, but they are incredibly popular. I gather that the firm that makes them is increasing capacity all the time.
Yeah, they are beautiful pieces. It's just, I compare it to a numismatic.
Yeah.
You're not paying for the metal, you're paying for the design.
Yeah.
So will it ever be used as money? No. It's not economically there. It's not there.
It is voluntary, isn't it? In New Hampshire, Utah, Nevada.
Yeah, I've noticed the states are coming up with their own. Now that gives a couple, in my opinion, a couple economic indicators for the future of those states, as far as for their independence, and that goes back to a video I made on, I think it was Ghana president or one of the presidents of Africa, stating that they are getting out of the ECOWAS and the French euro and coming up with their own money because after many of decades, hundreds of years or whatever, they've determined that a country's currency is its sovereignty, and they, as stated, didn't want to be slaves, so they were coming up with their own currency. And that's why I also say that CDBC is going to be hard to push worldwide when the new and upcoming economies are wanting sovereignty. And when you take money away from a country, you've taken their sovereignty. How's it going, $1 million?
Yeah, no, Yeah, I get your point there. I'm of the opinion that the CBDCs are going to happen.
It will happen in certain countries. It'll be forced on us. I think we're leaving a globalist agenda and going to a nationalist agendas. And there are countries out there that will try and grab power from their people and push the CBDC on them. It's just I don't see it. I see them trying here in America, but I don't see it being a long-term success because there's already and for what it is, they've already got laws out there stating that the Federal Reserve can't make CBDC and give it to the people. But now if you look at HR 8421, it's an abolish act of the Federal Reserve and the repealing of the 1913 law that created them. So if that happens, that makes the laws against CBDC null and void, which means the government could actually force them onto us.
Interesting.
So there is pathways for it to happen legally, but right now, they've got to negotiate. And what is politics and economics except for negotiating pathways for success for whatever it is you're pushing?
Yeah, I mean, what was it 2-3 years ago? I think it was called the Banking for All Act. That was drawn up, and that was sold as getting the unbanked banked through. Every credit union, every post office would have to provide a FedNow account, and they would be reimbursed by the Federal Reserve for the cost of doing that. And then if you look at the bigger picture, the Bank of International Settlements, that's where I think it's 51 or 52 of the largest nations in the world all meet every other month in secret. And the BIS has been working hard to make sure that each country's proposed CBDC is very easily interchangeable. So basically a one world currency. I don't think they've worked that hard at it for that long. And then tying it in with the precious metals, was it 2012, Basel III? It was a long time ago, declaring gold a tier 1 asset. Well, what was that all about? But if you look recently, gold has now replaced the euro. More reserves are held in gold than in the euro. And the euro is the second largest currency in the world. And also at the same time, transactions in the euro are falling off a cliff. Yet transactions in the dollar are rising strongly. So we're getting a bifurcation. We're getting a split. The dollar is increasing as currency, but decreasing as reserve.
Yeah.
What I've been thinking is we don't need a world reserve currency.
100%.
But it's useful to have a world currency.
A means of economic exchange for business.
Exactly. And at the moment, the dollar is the superior instrument for all.
And that's where they will do it like a CBDC, but it won't be for the people. And most nations, it'll be more for means of international settlement, whether government to government, contract to contract of large monies is really not feasible to ship on an airplane. Oh, I'm going to ship you $7 billion by plane to your, so they'll do the electronic thing. And I think that because I found out that several years ago, Russia was working with I think it was the International Monetary Fund and some world central bank on digitizing their whole economy.
Yeah.
So
that basically that happens when you go full CBDC.
Yeah, and that's where I say countries
now there's a record. Now there's a record every transaction forever. That gets linked, doesn't it? That'll get linked with property registrations, vehicle registrations.
Yep.
In fact, it probably, unfortunately, it'll get linked with precious metals purchases, precious metal sales. Anything that you do with the digital dollar is now recorded forever. And then the excuse will be, well, we might as well digitize everything. We don't need independent escrow companies. We don't need different, each state doing its own thing for property registration. It'll be so much cheaper and quicker to have it all in one central database. And that's linked for the CBDC. And there you've got it. Everything becomes tokenized, and therefore anything and everything can be confiscated, frozen, or stolen.
And that sounds like This sounds like the way Russia's going, and we're not going to go the same route as them, because again, we're leaving globalism and going nationalism. At least for this economic and social cycle, it will end also, and eventually we will get to a world money system. It's just, I think it's in the next cycle, not this cycle.
Yeah, I think it's coming sooner. I think now it's within the grasp, but I don't know. It's easier to say they, but let's define who they are. I think they are the leading financiers.
No, the G20.
Well, no, we don't know. We don't know the names of the faces, but there is a group. There's a group of people that pretty well control the macro, or if they don't control it, they steer it in their favor.
Yeah,
you know, if they don't start the war, they prolong the war and make the war worse. It's whatever the occasion, they can profit from it.
Yeah, that's where I made a prediction, and I got it on one of my videos about the South African debacle going on with ANC losing majority control and having to make concessions now. And before I made that video, there was a video about their Democratic party they have, and this one dude I just had a feeling when I saw him do the research, I was like, that guy's going to be in charge of the financing in South Africa. And then a couple of weeks later, the DNC lost their majority control, and they made an announcement they're working with that guy's group to gain control. And I think the concession they're going to make is to allow him to be in control of their either the money or the metals and mining. And that's when and the reason why I'm looking at this is because of platinum. It's a deep dive on platinum, because if that guy gets better control, then the powers that be that are manipulating might ease up a little bit and allow the platinum price to go up. And that's my thought process, and it's all based on precious metals for South Africa, because I'm seriously looking at platinum and when it's going to make its move. And I think the geopolitical of what's going on in South Africa, and so far it looks like I've kind of am hinting in the right direction, but politics is a wild bedfellow, so I don't know for sure what'll happen. But it looks like the powers that be that we were just talking about are going to allow it to happen. And speaking of the powers that be, that guy, I believe, is a puppet for those powers that be, and that's why I think there's going to be a big change in the platinum price.
Yeah, I mean, that I would agree with you, but it is inevitable. It's just a bit, it's useful in one way. We've got more opportunity to get more platinum, but it's frustrating, isn't it? It's taking so long, for sure.
More time to acquire.
Yeah. And thanks to you, Neil, I've been looking out for anything interesting. I picked up this 1 ounce Isle of Man Noble.
Oh, dude, I got family in this Isle of Man. Yes, it is.
And lover or hater, there's the Young Queen, 1984.
You know, so,
that's my favorite platinum coin.
My mom's family has land on the Isle of Man. It's the Sutherland clan. That's where we our family comes from. The
really?
Sutherland.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I actually visited my great aunt back in the mid 70s. She had a couple 100 acres on that island. But my mom didn't marry a McDonald. She married a Han, so I didn't get none of it. You know how that goes.
So you're not going to find out you still own 200 acres of the Isle of Man then?
No, it stayed with the Sutherlands, and I'm a Han, so you know. And actually, my mom had a sister, so she married a MacArthur. So now it's MacArthur's, because they're still one of the clans, and the Hans aren't a clan; they're German. So,
art collector, yes. That's in my opinion, the best way to buy Osmium in the wild is to call Ian, call me, and I can talk you through the different options and what I think is going to get the best price action going forward. Have you got my phone number up there somewhere, Neil?
I can do better than that. Give me a couple of seconds here. Bookmarks, boom, boom, and I will share a screen of your website. I just need to get back over here and go to present, share screen.
So yeah, the Osmium Symposium was great. Got to meet State Institute partners from China, Hong Kong, South Korea, Mexico, Brazil, Lithuania, and Great Britain. So that was pretty cool, seeing what people are doing in the different parts of the world. So yeah, no, that was great. Actually got to spend a bit of time with Rolf, the Swiss scientist who developed the crystallization process. So
that would have been an interesting conversation.
Oh my gosh, he was an absolute genius. He gave a talk on how he ended up crystallizing osmium.
Dude, I like hanging around smart people.
That was an incredible lecture, and he gave it simultaneously in 4 languages.
Holy, see, wow. You know what I'm saying? How can you jaw not drop at a presentation like that? That's dripping intelligence.
But a really nice guy, and genuinely, he's decided he wants to go into partial retirement at the end of 2026, and that actually sort of coincided, that discussion, with their discovery. Oh my gosh, there's a whole lot less ethically produced osmium out there than they ever thought, and it's taken the Osmium Institute 10 years to amass 300 kilos.
And then I get hooked up with it, and they're going to be sold out in a year.
So in the last 10 years, they've sold 30 kilos of crystallized product. But having said that, I hadn't heard of it until end of 2022, and probably is only 0.001% of Americans have even heard of it. So you could be right. It could move really, really fast. Yeah.
No, it's going to, because that's what my plan is. I plan on moving it. If I move it, I make a profit off of it too, and everyone who gets it from me is going to profit in the long run from it. So I need to get it out to as many people as possible. That's where I stand on it, and I'm trying to get to that point. Oh yeah, well, I can't show you anything. I don't have anything going yet on that gem grinding process. Hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll be able to show the gem with the ground in inset area for the osmium.
Just seen a comment there by Seth about bi-rarity, and that's exactly the point. When Ingo Wolf met the scientist who worked out how to do the crystallization, he within minutes realized if you can create a market for this, you're going to get incredible price action. And that's what he's done, building a team for the last 10 years. And yeah, I think first awareness will go viral, and then very, very quickly the demand will outstrip their capacity to cut and certify. So they have a team of highly trained technicians, because after each piece is cut, it has to be visually, manually inspected through a $50,000 microscope. That's the grade of microscope they use. And each piece is checked very, very carefully for any faults or flaws in it. And if it doesn't pass that, it has to go back and get crystallized.
What's up, Hager?
Rarity on Charles III coronation coins. I don't get too much involved in the numismatic. I did buy a tube of 25 of the Charles III coronation coins. That sort of thing always does very well pretty quickly in the UK for sure. There is also another great coin out. It's the Britannia Liberty. So it's the first time the Royal Mint has ever collaborated with any mint, and that's in 1,000 years of history of the British Royal Mint. And they've collaborated with the US Mint to make a Britannia Liberty coin. So it's got.
I got one of those.
Did you get one?
Yes, I got it from Long Live Coins.
He got it from me. So you got it from me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it came from you. Yeah, no, I went through our channels and got it that way.
And they're only making. It sounds a lot, but they're only making 200.
That's not a lot.
262,000.
You got 2 countries. You're looking at about what, 400 million people, and how many are they making?
Yeah, it's a very small mintage. Yeah.
I had to get one of those.
Yeah, it is a beautiful coin, and the premium's not too high on the silver.
What's up, Maria?
What is osmium used for? Okay, so at the moment, commercially, industrially, osmium is used for some fine high-end bearings. I think they are using it alloying with other metals because osmium is the hardest wearing metal in its uncrystallized form. Used in tiny amounts. It's used in chemical and biological research, high-end again, because of its incredible propensity to react with oxygen. And I think it's also been used in fingerprint dusting for the same reason. But practically no industrial use has ever really been considered because there's just not enough of it for that any use. So way back, not long after it was isolated in 1804, a company started experimenting using osmium for light bulb filaments because of its incredibly high melting point. And they made very great light bulbs out of it, but they realized it's so rare and so expensive that the light bulbs would be completely unaffordable. So then they moved to tungsten, and that founded the company called Osram, the OS from osmium, and the WRAM from Wolfram, which is the German, I think, for platinum, or Swiss. Maybe it's the Swiss for platinum. Anyway, so that's where the name Osram. So you can see plenty of Osram light bulbs still around today.
And they're probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah. If you had one of those original ones with the osmium.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think there is one in a museum somewhere. Yeah.
That's about the only place to find them.
So the main use case for crystallized osmium is investment and jewelry and fine art. Were any platinum Charles III coronation coins made? I do not know.
Neither do I, actually.
Yeah, I haven't got my watch on today, but that is a really it's very elegant and simple. The Un osmium watch.
Well, let me tell you what, right now, and this will probably sell, and because I'm going to order it once I get back to work and get the money to do it. I want the hour, and I'm going to get a watch so that way I can take the hour hand, the second hand, and the minute hand off, and mail it to you and have you send it to them there where they can make exact duplicates of that, so I can replace the hour hand, the minute hand, and the second hand on a watch, because I just think that would be
do you know what? I'm gonna have to experiment because I pulled this out. I think these are one of the best value pieces.
Yeah,
these are the uppercase I's.
Yeah,
so these are sold without a cutting charge. So these are literally sold by weight. They are 6 millimeters by 1 millimeter. You could probably mess around. They would make the 3 hands. You could do them out of 3 of those if you really wanted to make one economically.
Yeah. I wonder how they would pass over each other.
Well, they'd have to be spaced, wouldn't they? They'd have to be stacked.
Yeah. You'd have to put a spacer in between them.
Yeah.
And you'd probably go with a Sparkle 2 or maybe 3. From my understanding, the Sparkle level is height.
Yeah, the total the average thickness.
Yeah.
I think they tend to be. I'll just pull that one up. They tend to be a Sparkle 2. They cut the numbers from.
Yeah, that would be
that is a Sparkle 3, that one. But that's
probably on the lower end.
$63, that one.
And that's a good deal.
So yeah, I'm definitely stacking up on these for sure.
Indeed. You can do a lot of things with those.
So I've got to go hunting for some really nice quality Swiss watches, but like a more of an unknown or unloved brand, and then I'll have a mess around.
Space Miner. He's wanting to be endorsed by this one certain. I've never heard the watch, but it looked like a fabulous watch he had on one of his little 2 or 3 minute videos he did. I would like to find not Rolex, but a high end watch, not watch, but for myself, and then do it on that watch, not just on a cheap Timex or something, you know.
So Art Collector, we haven't got plans to open a shop in California, but I have a friend, and I think he's got an arrangement with a jeweler in San Diego to have some on display in San Diego. So I don't know where you are in California.
Yeah, I don't know where he's at either.
So Maria, no, that's a current piece.
That's the product line you get right now.
Yeah. Yeah, these are around the $63. So yeah, lots of uses for that rectangular shape.
You could let your imagination fly, and I've got a lot of designs just when you showed it for that piece.
What I was thinking, they do a cross, a crucifix, but they're really pricey. I was thinking if I could get some 2.5 millimeter by 1 millimeter rectangles and just make a cross out of 3 pieces with that as the main piece.
Yeah.
Or you could use it that way and get a piece for the top and bottom cut. I might well do that, because I think the crosses would be a lot more popular if they were, sold by the weight, not with a high cutting charge.
Yeah. So when is I understand you're getting some pieces made. I'm excited to see some of the pieces your jeweler is going to be coming up with. When we expect to see those. What happens,
we get a piece made and it sells straight away. So we're trying to
at least take a picture of it and show us.
Yeah, I have. I can pull it up and show you now. Actually, we've got some earrings.
That would be very cool.
Yeah, let me pull up the picture. I've got to work out where it is.
I want to get. I'm interested in that website just to see what other people are doing.
I bought a beautiful pendant for my wife so she could showcase osmium. I know this is very low tech, so I do apologize.
Oh yes, I remember that one. Yes.
So that is made by Ingo Wolf's girlfriend, and she used.
That's like antler.
It's horn.
Horn. Okay.
See what this piece here is denser, and this piece is more porous. The way she's cut it. Yeah. And you can, when you look around the edge, this turquoise goes around the edge where that's a harder face.
Yeah. So it's got depth to it.
Yeah, but it actually looks like stone, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
So
it looks like beautiful stone, actually.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the technique, but so hopefully we will have a selection of that in our store shortly.
Yeah, that's goes in line with what I was looking to do. Similarly, as soon as I find the right pieces that have the right quality look to them, but they got some real nice cut stones that are semi-translucent that got beautiful markings, designs, however you want to call it.
Here we go. So these are the earrings we're getting made.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
So what our goldsmith is doing, this is a standard.
Yeah.
And then they don't. This then what he's doing, he's building like a flat gold base underneath it.
Yeah, a platform
Yeah.
off of. Yeah, I see exactly what he's got going there.
So we're doing those in 14 karat white and 14 karat yellow gold.
Right on.
I would love to get some done in platinum, but the labor cost is a lot more.
Tell me about it. We got to charge more for the nose rings too in platinum. We can get palladium, white gold, and yellow gold at one price, but when it goes to platinum, boom, it's like boom.
Is that just because it's much harder to work with?
Yeah. I mean, and because platinum's the best. Of course, it's going to be more.
And then this is a heart ring. We'll be getting these made.
Now, are you going to get the osmium cut like that?
It is cut like that already.
Oh, it already is. They got hearts. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you're okay. Another inset, an idea for people in the crowd to.
So that's Gavin from London, UK. He made that one. Let me see what else we got. And of course, I've got the dice.
This kind of stuff. I like those dice.
So that was the first pair that went out.
Were they sold?
Yeah. Yeah. So these are selling well.
Right on.
Apparently, that's a whole field of collection. People love collecting dice. So.
Oh yeah. Yara and Chris.
You're getting pretty rare if you're buying an osmium dice. Let me see if I've got the spiral ring.
What's up, Chad?
Well, these are cool. Hopefully we'll get permission to make these. This is a beautiful ring. See how they've put the osmium diamond in between?
Hold on. What?
And then that's laser welded. But that's laser welded where the osmium joins the ring. They spot weld it with a laser.
Oh, I wish you had a different angle of that. That one's interesting.
There's a different angle.
Okay. So
pretty cool, isn't it?
Okay, yeah, no, that is awesome. A couple different. You could do that in a couple different metals.
Oh yeah, I think that's platinum. That one.
Yeah, it looked nice. It looked very nice.
Then we'll be doing star earrings.
There you go.
I'm trying to see if I can find a spiral ring. Oh, this was cool. So Osmium had a local college, university. They did a competition for the students.
Yeah.
So this got second prize, but I would have given this first prize. Look at that.
Oh, that's definitely a nice ring.
And that's in sterling silver. So
nice. If
we can get permission, we'll be making those for sure.
Oh yeah.
And that would go. That could adapt, couldn't it? You could adapt that to an earring with this piece. You could adapt it to a pendant.
That'll sell. I think that'll sell big time.
Oh, so most importantly of all, I had to test out the German ice cream. So they have big ice creams there.
Is it better than ours?
It was darn good. Yeah. Seriously, just around the corner from the Institute. This actually, you'll like this design, Neil, because I think you've actually had an idea very similar to this. So this is the guy in London. One of your designs was very similar to that, I remember.
Yep.
And that's in a pod. That's in a pod. So these are four sides.
Yeah. No, that is beautiful. Yeah, and this is what I like. That's why I can't wait to see your
this
website where a lot of people can put their stuff up on it.
That's the plan. This was pretty cool. One of the makers made this with I don't even know what a gemstone is, but it works really well with other colors, doesn't it?
Could be a topaz.
Maria, interesting question. So the process is they clean the osmium to get it to up to between 9 and 11 nines pure. then they boil it. They take it over 9,000 Fahrenheit, and then they coax it to crystallize. So it's in a crystalline form. That's the best way. I don't know if Maria's seen what's the coarsest piece I've got here. That's a pretty coarse piece. That's a pretty coarse piece.
Ain't that thing shiny.
The best way to really see it is to pull up the picture, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know where Long Live Coins got that from.
I can pull up the picture from. I'll scan this piece. Oh, and we finally got
some.
We finally got the hexagon.
Nice. That's perfect for rings.
So this is that piece on the database. So this pulls up. That's the actual high resolution photograph of that piece. So if you expand that, you start to see the crystalline structure. So yes, it is a crystal. Yeah. With fascinating properties. It's more abrasive than diamond. It's on the similar hardness level, and it's more inert. Absolutely, it's completely. There is no acid or alkali that will dissolve it. In fact, that's how it was isolated in 1804. Two British scientists were messing around with some residue after extracting platinum.
Yep.
And they had this residue, and they thought, okay, well, we'll dissolve it down. We'll work out what it is, and it wouldn't dissolve. They could not separate it.
They got the rhodium, they got the iridium, they
everything
got everything else.
Everything else dissolves with acid or alkali or a mix of acid and alkali.
Yeah. And they said, well, dang, this is a PGM then.
Yeah.
What are we going to call it?
You can't dissolve osmium. So when it's in this crystalline form, it's actually the densest form of osmium. And it's absolutely inert. So, I mean, that would be an incredible use for it for scientific research, because if you made a vessel lined with osmium, you wouldn't get any contamination in what you were researching on. Everything else you're going to get even platinum. I mean, the high-end chemical research, they use platinum vessels and platinum pipes for doing the reactions, titrating goods and all the other stuff. But it's just not enough of it to do that.
We should have more people piling in here shortly. Sal's streams and a couple other streams. And
yeah, it is. It's the 8th and final precious metal, so it's not just a metal. It completes the precious metals, and it's the last one that has come to market.
It's actually a platinum groups metal.
Yeah. Yeah, and the reason it's the last to the market, and if it's normal refined form, it's toxic. So not really marketable.
That's where they had to wait for technology. This product wasn't even. You wouldn't be able to make it until lasers were created. So the earliest this product could have been made would be the 1970s ish.
Oh, here's another. This is from the Gavin, the diamond better. That's a pretty cool ring, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So I think he's done that in 18 or 22 carat. He likes the yellower gold.
Yellow gold goes good.
That would look awesome in platinum. It's like,
that's what I was thinking.
How did I end up becoming a jeweler? That's crazy, isn't it? So,
that's right. I just did a video yesterday, about a 2-minute video of the guys next door. He's got a band, and I built this sound room for him, so he can do all this musicianal stuff. And a whole bunch of his friends who were all in different bands just showed up, and we had an impromptu barbecue. And they went inside to do all their jamming. And there was this one guy who does artwork, and I was just looking around thinking the exact same thing. How did I just end up hanging around musicians and designing jewelry?
Yeah.
How did this happen? I was thinking that just yesterday.
Yeah. I got a video of the watch. I don't, if anybody's watching hasn't seen the Yoon watch. There's a little So
I take it permission to keep the watch wasn't kept.
I've come to an arrangement. I have custody of the watch for the
foreseeable. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
See, now that second hand, hour hand, and minute hand.
Yeah, I think the second hand you'd have to.
That would be an issue. It's too small.
I think I would do that in platinum or something.
Yeah.
And then
that's highly reflective as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even silver.
Although, yeah, I'm sure you just using the standard pieces, you can make it look pretty incredible.
Actually, if you did it in silver or platinum, every time the second hand crossed over the other two, exactly.
You'd get that interaction, yeah.
Yeah. So it would matter what the second hand was, whether platinum or silver. You'd get a slightly different. Ooh, yeah. And then do a gold one. That would throw some color into it.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is some. I love new things.
Yeah, it was great seeing at the Institute they had jewelry from all over the world. Let me see if I can find. They had a real beautiful. Let me see if I can find it. They had an incredible. Oh, this was one of my favorites. And high end as well. I mean, this was up for 7,000 euros. But that was just. I love that.
Oh yeah.
So it's also every
different gemstones.
Every fifth one was osmium diamond.
There's like emerald.
Yeah, you know your stones, don't you, Neil?
Yeah, it looks like garnet, emerald. I don't want to say Alexander. What would that? Oh man, I'm blanking out now. Wow. Okay, stage fright. Yeah, I recognize 3 of those gems.
Oh, and I haven't even showed Space Miner yet. So
his coin.
Here's Space Miners next to the Panther bar.
And
next to the Domino. Sorry,
Domino bar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So he's got it encapsulated and everything.
No, well, he's lent it to me to take to Germany so it could go in the display cabinet.
Heck yeah. Yes, most definitely. I mean, that's why we're all doing it, to create new stuff and to have it displayed. Well, that's just why you create new stuff. It's beautiful.
So here's a new Hublot watch. But I like the idea. I think there's 2 or 3 people or more have said to me about using the osmium for the hands on a watch, and I think that's a brilliant idea. I think we better make sure we're not bidding against each other on eBay for secondhand watches, I guess.
Secondhand market, yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Yes, so Maria, it's a byproduct from nickel and platinum mining. So platinum, you can get up to 30 grams, so that's less than a tri-ounce of osmium from 10,000 tons of platinum ore. So the typical places, I think predominantly it's Canada, the Urals in the Russian Federation, and South Africa, and a tiny bit in Australia. So the Institute won't touch anything that's anything to do with nickel mining, because just nickel mining is so toxic and hazardous. They've decided to steer clear of anything to do with osmium that's extracted from nickel.
That cuts out the Russian company.
Yeah, and you know, whether you agree or not, and I to and fro. I mean, some of the ESG stuff, you know, I think it's good not to destroy water. I think it's a good idea not to poison water forever in communities.
Come on, Ian. There ain't nothing wrong with poisoned water. You just get a filter.
I think that's good. You know? But having, you know, some of the political extortions on the ESG, basically just to extract money, that's different, you know. But anyway, the Osmium Institute will not use any osmium that's not 100% proven where and how it was mined.
Ethical mining.
That has limited the osmium again.
And you know, when you hold all the cards, you make all the rules.
Well, it's a natural monopoly.
Exactly.
Rolf, the Swiss scientist, it took him 40 years to develop the process, and he had a bad explosion or two on the way, which nearly killed him. So he risked his life to develop this process, and he is very, very confident that no one else will be able to manage to do it. So, and even if someone did, they would not find 300 kilos of ethically produced osmium because the Osmium Institute has bought it all.
See, you instantly come up with a problem.
Yeah. It's you know, it might not be how I would have done it, but I haven't been on their journey. I haven't spent 40 years of life working out to crystallize it. And Ingo Wolf sold all of his or most of his businesses to pursue this. You know, he was a successful broadcaster, precious metals dealer, scientist, one of those super hyper high functioning geniuses. You know, most people on that genius level are not functioning humans, but he functions very well as a human. Favorite thing to do when he comes to America is have a burger. So
I can see why. Every night I think about dinner, I think about a burger.
And he plays in a rockabilly band. He's the singer in a rockabilly band. So
I could see him in a thrash band with fast lyrics.
I don't know if I recorded any of them in the. And they know how to celebrate. There was a lot of beer.
German beer. Higher
German wheat beer. Oh, I don't know if I've shown. Oh, I found the spiral ring. So that's a ring we had made.
Yeah.
Now that would work with other gems as well, wouldn't it, Neil? You could mix.
You could not use all of that osmium and do like that one piece you showed. Use 2 other gems.
You could scatter them. Yeah.
And every ring of that ring could be a different metal.
Yeah. I need to do some more research because obviously I live in the gem state, so it's time I got to learn.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be like calling you saying, "Hey, where do I need to go? I'm coming up your way. I'm gonna pick up some gems off the ground." Where do I need to
this
go?
one is cool. This is my friend down in San Diego. He had this made from the drop shape.
That is nice.
Nice and simple, but his goldsmith's really good. See how he's thinned out the where the gold comes up to the top here?
Yeah, I was actually looking at to see it. I think it's part of the folding of it over to hold the osmium.
Yeah, but he's thinned out the frame deliberately to make it look like a dropping.
Yeah,
it's added to the fluidity of it. I'm trying to see if I've got Ingo in his just to show you he is a real functioning human, not just a genius. Or did you ever see the fish? Did you see the fish we had made?
No.
Okay, let me get the good picture. So a client got this done for her grandson's graduation. So that's a fish that he caught in the Amazon somewhere. So she sent me a picture.
Is he graduating as a biologist or zoologist?
Just graduating his college. I think this was just a trip. He went and caught this rare fish, and
nice.
We had an osmium one. There will probably never be another one of those.
Exactly. The value goes up. Like the video I did talking about the queen's hats. She had 2 crowns.
I'm just going to get my dog. He's just eating some of the osmium packaging. Jimmy.
Yeah, it goes along with when you guys get things made and you make stuff, one-off stuff, it becomes a lot more valuable.
Yes,
He's a good-looking baby.
He is. Come up. Come say hello to everybody. Come on. Come sit. Come on. Up you come. No, you've got to come up.
Not on the computer.
Come on.
What's up, Tom? I take it Sal's just ended. Yeah, we should be getting a lot more people coming in now. A couple other shows have ended.
Yeah, Sal's a hero doing a live market as the market opens, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he ended it at yeah, there's JM. Yeah, no, it ended.
I think people
It ends
probably
at 6
had
o'clock.
to stop to eat. Oh,
And
here we go. This is what I wanted to show you, Neil. Oh, where's my cap? Oh, it's hang on. Yeah, come back.
Thanks, JM.
So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Now that's on a stone?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. He made a fish out of a stone. At least in the first appearance, it looks like a fish.
Here we go. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
See, I like that.
So yeah, you're definitely on the right track. There was also one in an ammonite, I think.
Oh. See, I don't know the stones. I know the gemstones, but the actual, like, is it granite or whatever? I'm not too sure of. That is gorgeous.
I want that one.
Oh my God, that is gorgeous.
Isn't that cool?
Is that fossilized or just a shell?
No, that's a fossil. That's a fossil.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
that's gorgeous.
I need to send my son down the beach in Lyme Regis in England. That's where you can pick those up off the beach.
Oh yeah.
And polish them. Yeah. So they were selling that for €975. So that's nearly $1,100.
And what is that? A 6mm round?
I'm guessing a 5.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
That's actually cheap sale price. Someone should buy it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I bought that pendant for my wife. It's great for marketing because when people see it, you know if they're interested because they ask, well, what is that? Because there isn't anything that sparkles like osmium, particularly in sunlight.
Exactly. That's why those earrings are going to bling for you. Because that's what ladies wear earrings for.
How far are you off getting your first nose studs assembled?
There 3 of them were at the Long Beach coin show, but that was overshadowed by someone stealing 2 pounds of gold off someone's table.
I heard that. How?
Yeah, that happened at the coin show where they were being OC had 3 of them with him to display. I was hoping he'd be here tonight so I could find out more, but he'll tell me eventually what happened. But yeah, obviously you know how many I sent down to him to have done. We just got to get them done, and he was real busy with that coin show.
So 2 pounds of gold. So that's
in rock form.
28. So maybe 20 ounces of gold. Oh my gosh.
And well, 50, it's even
50 grand or more.
About 80 because of the artwork of it being in rock form still. You know,
it was a natural nugget.
Yeah, natural nugget. Exactly. I knew there was a special. I'm not like a gold fan, so I wasn't too sure of the terminology. I wouldn't have gone out of my way to steal it. I would have looked for the platinum.
Is platinum ever found in places in nuggets or?
Yeah, up in Wyoming, actually.
You can find lumps of platinum in Wyoming.
I think is it Wyoming or Montana? There's a placer mine. Right. They get about 14,000 ounces a year. And from my understanding, what placer mining is you just dig up a part of the soil.
It's lumps of the metal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how it probably through some volcanic activity it got separated, and pushed up to the surface or something. But the only place in America, actually, I'm still waiting for it to be discovered. And this is in my opinion, a no-brainer. Do you know where the name platinum came from?
I don't. Tell me.
Well, the conquistadors of 1500s down in Central America were sifting through and melting their newfound treasures of gold and silver, and they couldn't melt down this one stone that was valued to the Incans or Mayans, whoever they were. So they called it platina, little silver.
Right.
Okay,
And
so they were throwing away.
They discarded it, didn't they? They discarded it when they were
exactly in the 1500s in
They were
Central America. They were
away.
throwing away platinum.
'Cause they
Where did
couldn't
this
melt it.
platinum come from if they haven't got a discovery down there? Because there was obviously enough of it for us to name it platinum. And it all came from Central America where are no mines. So that's been a curiosity to me. Because apparently I want to go where they were smelting their gold and silver because I could find a couple 100 ounces of platinum. You know?
Oh my, in the spoil heap.
Uh-huh. Oh, throw this away. It was nothing to them. It was nothing. It was an annoyance.
Because it
They
wouldn't
thought
melt.
it was silver.
Yeah.
You know, and they were like, crap, platinum. Throw it away. Throw it away. I want to go to that junkyard. No one's found it that my research has led me to.
So was it 3,000 plus centigrade melting point platinum?
2780 Celsius, I think it is, something like that. Or 30. I don't know. I've got so many numbers. It's either that or 31. I can look it up real quick. I think it's the 2800 one as a melting point. I'll get it for you real quick here. Oh, no, it's 3215 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, because the osmium, platinum, they're known as refractory metals, aren't they? Because they're used because of that high melting point.
Yeah, they're reusable. They don't get burn away as much as the other metals. You can recover. They're recoverable at high temperatures. I just where is it? Stillwater Mine, Montana. Thank you. It's Montana, not Wyoming.
I need to pay a trip.
Yes, you do. They get an average 14,000 ounces a year come out of that mine. Average.
14,000.
That's a couple monster boxes, like 28 of them.
14,000. Yeah, 28 monster boxes of platinum.
Here in America. That's not. I mean, they don't. I don't think they offer that much to us on sale from the mint.
No.
Yeah. So that company could really do some good if they just sold it in coin form.
Oh, so Count Tupula, platinum wasn't smelted till modern times. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's because of the melting temperature.
Yeah.
I was correct, by the way. It is Wyoming and Montana. It's just the mine is in Montana.
In Montana, but there's deposits in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Woo. Is that a private owned mine then, or?
No, I used to know the name. They sold the company here a few years ago. I believe actually either Impala or Angola is the actual owner, but they have another company because of regulations or whatever through international business. They have another company that bought it or owned it, and I think they just sold it a couple of years ago to a company's name starts with an SI. No, Stillwater's the name of the mine, but their owner of the Stillwater, they kept the name Stillwater Mining, but the corporation that owns Stillwater Mining changed to a company that starts with SIS, I believe. I don't actually recall it, but a lot of things like right now, Angola Mines is liquidating to BPH is making bids on some of their assets. So Angola Mines, the number one platinum miner in the world, is downsizing or being forced to sell assets, which means they're in financial trouble.
I agree with the Count. The Platinum Eagles are an incredibly beautiful coin. I've managed to pick up a few half-ounce Eagles. I think they'll do better in the future because I think they stopped making them a few years ago. So I favour the half-ounce if I can get them at a reasonable premium.
I'm sorry, I'm pouring some tea right now.
I'll drink mine then whilst you're pouring yours.
Doing the English thing. Hey, what's up, Jay and Anti?
Oh, Jay, 2008. Wow. So that's a long break, isn't it? I wonder if I'll ever bring them back. Otherwise, you're stuck, aren't you? Fractional for Maples or Britannias, and I guess the Perth Mint do fractional platinum.
Yes, there. Thank you, JM. See, my memory's good. My memory is very good when it comes to platinum. It's been a couple of years since I studied up, and I just got it as a passing email that I kind of didn't totally. I just skimmed through about them selling it to SIS.
So, have you got any predictions on spot action on platinum?
So, because right now
seems to be a bit beaten up, doesn't it? We got up to 1100, didn't we? I think
close. It's every time China has more financial problems.
Yeah.
My personal belief is platinum will have a better chance of breaking out. I honestly believe China is manipulating the price of platinum down.
Right. To accumulate or?
Yeah. Because this year they need 2.5 ounces to build their hydrogen, because they're losing so much money on the electric stuff. They've already moved over to a hybrid hydrogen biodiesel engine, and they've got like a couple contracts for a couple big car companies.
Yeah.
And they knew they were going to get these contracts, and they knew they needed the platinum. If platinum around 2013, when it started going down, which is around the time South Africa joined BRICS, and they recorded 2 BRICS by China, and China's reason given for courting South Africa to BRICS is they said they had the unique metals or unique minerals of diamonds, gold, and platinum. And diamonds and gold are not unique to South Africa. Only platinum is. So in their own statement of them wanting the unique minerals, they gave it away that they were going for platinum. And then the platinum price starts falling. And if you look at what's happening to every country that's joined the Belt Road Initiative and did a contract with China, as the Italian government will tell you, their female PM broke the deal with China, because after a year, she discovered what I've known for quite some time: any country that signs up for the Belt Road Initiative ends up going bankrupt because China rapes them of all their resources.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And that's what China's doing to South Africa.
Yeah,
South Africa didn't start losing power until China lost their coal deal with Australia. After that deal went bad, no one talks about it in the news, but that's the reason why South Africa's out of power. That and an old power plant.
China didn't lose the coal deal with Australia. China refused to buy it because Australia criticized them and transparent.
Tomatoes.
Australia wanted transparency from China on the pandemic.
Yeah, tomatoes.
They could, and because of that, China retaliated against their agricultural and mining products, and they thought it would harm Australia, but Australia found new buyers for their coal
very fast.
Yeah,
because when China came back, they're like, "Sorry, we already sold it."
yeah, we got a new buyer. You can't have our coal now. Yeah,
you want to shoot yourself in the foot again? That was a funny deal. I was laughing my whole way. I found out about that. I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Yeah, I've seen China go down, and I've seen Africa and platinum. And I don't know, because I don't research rhodium that much to know what spikes it, and all of a sudden took it from the 300 up to the averaging of 4,000 to 5,000 with a spike in the 30,000s. My only thought pattern on that would be that would be the only price action that China was given South Africa to make a profit so they could keep mining. So they 100x the price from 300 to 30,000, realized they couldn't keep it there, and it dropped back down. Because even if you look at like Kitco, you'll see it doesn't give any price action. It just gives you 4,500, 5,500. It doesn't give ups, downs, percentages. It's a set price. Why is that? I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I see Tom making a comment there. Yeah, China used to buy a lot of coal from Australia.
They buy crap loads of coal. I think just like Here's something else people don't realize. Saudi Arabia is running out of oil. So if you really knew the dynamics of the petrodollar, well, they kind of knew when they signed the deal that they'd be out of oil by 2030, 2035, and we wouldn't have a petrodollar anyhow. It's all planned.
You think the Saudis are out of oil that quick?
Oh yeah, no, I saw it. You can't find it. It sucks, man. I sound like a conspiracy dumbass when I say this stuff.
You're not a dumbass, but you're a conspiracy guy.
And, I studied research.
And we're running out of conspiracies, aren't we? As one after the other comes true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, that's why they started building their touristy stuff and their fake islands, because they were transitioning from an oil-based economy. They wanted to go to an international tourism economy. And that's where people don't realize we're leaving globalism, going to nationalism. So who cares if they're a global destination, because no one's going to, in 5-10 years, that's not going to be a thing. So they're already a bankrupt country. It just hasn't happened yet. That's all. So any deals they make with BRICS, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, if you think 200 years is short, wait and see that one. You know, it's not going to be around for like. I see things a little long term. People act on, I think because of crypto, people see more short term and don't realize that 20 years is short term when it comes to actual investing. And that's why Warren Buffett's rich and none of the rest of us are. Because you see long-term trends and stick to them. Because they come to fruition, no matter how, idiotic they sound. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there.
There's some more coal information there.
What's up, 79?
Wow. 220 million tons in 20. Wow.
And see, that's a problem because that shows they have old technology.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it's still the case, but it was a year or so ago. They were opening a coal-powered power station every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
So, yeah, crazy. Totally crazy. But anyhow, there'll just be less customers when their lights get turned off, and their crystallized osmium's not over there anyhow that much. And that's my main concern is getting and seeing everyone else, especially those people here in chat, buying crystallized osmium and coming up with some cool jewelry like our brother here, Ian, was showing us on it that he has pictures of. Man, I think that was the best part of this live stream, is seeing other people's creations with the crystallized osmium and jewelry as in an art form. What's up, Zardos?
Yeah, it's really inspiring, lots of designs, and we're selling packages when clients, existing silver and gold clients, ask what I would recommend on osmium. I'm recommending the pieces that are affordable at the moment, from the smallest pieces through to the 3mm diamonds, because as that price moves up, if you turn them into a piece of jewelry, and when the awareness breaks out and people want at any cost a piece of jewelry, you'll have the largest market will be for the smallest pieces. Yeah, that fossil piece, I agree, Tom. That was I wish I'd bought it. I don't know why I didn't buy that, but never mind. I'll have to see if it's still for sale. Yes, I put in a large order for the 2mm.
He's jumping on my business.
Yeah. I did put in a large order. I will check tomorrow. The whole Osmium Institute team were just absolutely exhausted because they were running the existing headquarters, building the new one, transferring across, and then the opening, and then a team of them went down to an event in Monaco. So hopefully I should be able to get hold of my contact to make sure the pieces get cut. Yeah, I think Neil did buy them all, didn't you, Neil, actually?
Well, and that's why I asked you to make more of an order. You told me how many you're getting. I was like, no, that's not enough, bro. Get more.
Okay, I'll increase the order.
Yeah. No, there's going to be a lot of people as soon as people start getting seen. This thing, the nose ring thing, is going to take off. Same with the earrings. You're making the same with the rings, and that's why I encourage everyone in chat. This thing is going to take off, whether it's in whatever design. If you designed it, it would be a lot better, because now what you've done is you've created generational wealth to the ultimate.
Yeah.
Because you have a one-off piece of jewelry that'll never be done before, because you made it for your family's generational wealth, just like the Queen's jewels. Pass them down. She never sells those crowns, but those crowns combined are what, like $4.5 billion for 2 crowns made 150 years ago. I mean, they didn't cost that much when they were made. The reason why they're that much is they were kept together in the family.
I don't think they cost anything when they were made. I mean, those are the days.
Oh, yeah, it was tribute. It was tribute.
The British Empire just took what it wanted, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it was tribute. Well, they call that tribute, Ian. It's not theft, it's tribute.
I'm sure if we wanted the biggest diamond that was in India, well, we owned India, so that wasn't the
exactly. Cost, it was tribute to the crown, you know.
So
you spend a lot of money civilizing those people.
I wouldn't be surprised if India has a claim on some of the crown jewels, actually. So.
And that's the reason why I bring up the crown jewels, because of their value. And I'm wondering when someone's going to want to claim that diamond or that ruby or that set back. Because I see a lot of African countries looking to repatriate their gold and stuff. And then I see India with all of their wealth that they already went to court on with the Hindu religious people in that country about the 3 tombs. And the court dictated that one of the tombs was owned by the Hindu religion, but the other 2 were owned by the Indian government. And there's supposed to be a couple trillion, according to their records, a couple $1 trillion worth of gold, jewels, and everything else in these 2 tombs that they own, and they're buying. Yeah, and I did a video on it. And they're buying all this gold and silver. So if you want to know who's going to be the leader of tomorrow, look no further than India, because if they open those other 2 tombs and pull out $3 trillion worth of gold on top of what they bought, I think they got their part of the world covered as far as them being a reserve currency in that area.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's. I didn't get many views on it. I don't think many people saw it, but yeah, that's what's been going on in India. And the reason why I don't do too much on India is I don't like their caste system. They have a built-in. If you're born poor, you're
that's pretty. Although we're heading that way here, aren't we?
Yes, we are. I like looking at it more in medieval terms.
Yeah,
it's going back to landowners and those who live on the landowner's land.
History is rhyming, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It seems like the big corporations want to develop human rules. I think is probably the right word, isn't it?
Who knows what they're going to call it? What I know is I'm gonna own a lot of land. So I'll be one of them. So I'll come up with the name. I'll let you know. That's what I tell everyone here, man. You want to be on top, start now. You'll be on top shortly. Buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. And if you're kind, helpful, and grateful, you'll get to the top a lot quicker, because people will be more generous and help you.
Yeah, JM, I heard that. I heard the term minerals. I was watching a documentary about China, and apparently you'll get 10 years to life if you use the word minerals in China, because a lot of Chinese were complaining that the companies were just treating them like literally like a commodity that they're making their products out of.
They're fixing to have a civil war over there, or what do you call that? Insurrection.
I think tragically China could be heading for famine.
Yeah.
With the amount of food and energy they have to import, and it seems like
imagine if the Three Rivers Gorge Dam breaks and they have an emergency and lose 100 million people in 16 cities because of one dam break.
Yeah.
Which what then? Holy cow.
Takes out major industrial regions as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, 16 full cities that'll be affected. I've already done research on it.
Yeah,
16 cities will be affected just in the instant water plunge, not the spreading out of, but the serious damage, because there's 16 cities built on that river. Then you got that. Oh my God.
And then there's a loss of all the electricity it produces, isn't it? They lose goodness knows how many megawatts of electricity supply.
Oh yeah, no, that throws them back along with their population decrease. They're back in the dark ages. They'll back. I got the Han Dynasty. I'm hoping to actually have the Han Dynasty. Go over there and rally up the Chinese people under the name Han. And let's take over this part of China. I'll make you guys rich.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of
they're going to break apart.
Middle class and wealthy Chinese trying to escape China.
Oh shit! Yeah, Shanghai lost 400,000 people last year, or this year, so far. Last year, I think it was last year. Most of them wealthy. They're immigrants that go there to do work. Actually protested because there was lack of work and started moving home, and now they have the exact opposite problem. They don't have enough worker because most of the immigrants went home because they lost 400,000 rich people in 1 year. And that's just the city of Shanghai. Yeah, they're all cause problems. They're trying to run from China and the CCP. Sorry about that. But anyhow, anything else that you got to on crystallized osmium for us there, brother?
What have we covered? So some of the reasons behind the total cap on production. I guess really now the clock is running, isn't it? We've been talking, in the precious metal community about silver could eventually become extinct if we keep using it and throwing it away at the rate we're doing that. But there'll always be some point recycling will kick in. So the huge difference with the crystalline osmium, it's never going to get turned into the raw osmium and then recrystallized again. So once it's made into a piece of jewelry or even kept as an investment piece, it's never going to get recycled. So it'll only get resold on the secondary market at some point. So it is a completely different proposition to the other precious metals. At some point, as the other metals rise, recycling will increase. Whereas there is no, with the cap on the production now at 350 kilos, we know we can work out what quantity of pieces, how many watches could be made, how many nose rings, whatever. So that's an interesting calculation, isn't it?
Yes. And I hope to have enough money to buy a couple of the 1 ounce rounds. Because in about, how many islands do you think I'll be able to buy?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get a platinum bar made with osmium. So I'm thinking something like a 20-gram platinum bar.
See, I knew you would go high class like that. I like those 1 gram.
Well, 20 grams of platinum, that brings it down into a more affordable price band, doesn't it? Rather than a 1 ounce.
Well, I was thinking, no, I was looking at that 2.5 gram of gold, that 1 bar, and take the 1 gram of platinum and, cut out the center of the gold and put the platinum in the platinum. So that way you have gold, platinum, osmium inlaid into platinum inlaid into gold.
Oh, you're not going to squeeze silver in there as well, though?
The chain will be silver.
Oh, okay.
A necklace. That way you have all, and maybe I'm still thinking of how to throw in there, or not rhodium, palladium, because I think palladium actually well. And the price action's real good on it right now too. It's going down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here you go. It's nice.
We've got a serious inquiry to make a domino set as well. So we'll be hopefully starting to produce those. And actually, I was talking to a client about osmium the other day, and he had a suggestion. He suggested a pendant, and I don't know if it was you, Neil, but somebody asked if I could make an osmium pendant half the size of the 1.5 ounce one. And then this client, he suggested, why not just use one face of the dice have that as a pendant. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, because my machining guy is all set up for machining, so we could do a number 5 or a number 6 or a number 4. Just have one face of the dice and use that piece as a pendant or a ring.
Yeah, there's so many, man. It's crystallized osmium and jewelry is only limited.
Oh, we've lost you, Neil.
Oh, am I back?
You are now.
Can you hear me?
Can now.
Oh, okay. You jewelry piece and use this crystallized osmium, and you have yourself your work of art, because it's a one-off piece, because it's out of your imagination. Other people designs, but not yours, and it'll stay in your family. And man, everyone buys this stuff can benefit from it long term if you've got the mindset for it.
Yeah, especially if you can create your own brand. Hello, dog. Come here.
Hand ring. I went out again, didn't I?
You did?
Yeah, there's been a lot of solar flares. I guess my selection of carriers isn't as good as everyone else's.
Yeah, it looks like we've got a huge storm coming across. Oh my! I don't know if it'll show up on the.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's
going
nice
dark out.
clouds. There's some nice clouds. Is it going to be rain this time, or will it be snow?
Rain.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a big one coming.
Do you get lightning storms up there?
Oh yes.
Oh,
huge.
sweet.
Especially north over Yellowstone, or sometimes it will light up for hours and hours.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I might have.
You
Neil's using his neighbor's Wi-Fi.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Good night, Maria.
Good night, Maria. Thank you for the questions.
Yeah, I mean, everyone could benefit financially from this long-term, short-term, both. And I'm glad Ian's taking his time to educate all of us on this stuff, and I hope motivating you to.
Yeah, and I get lots of great ideas back as well. So I think we all benefit working together, don't we, with this?
Yeah, and you know, if we can get that website where everyone could throw their stuff on there, dude, that'd probably be a very popular website.
We will make that happen for sure.
I mean, I could see where that'd be like one of the more searched websites, because once people start finding out, I mean, well, you got what, 120 million adult Americans at least. And if you start doing economic math on that, you 5 or 10% of them. So you're talking about 12 million people out there that buy this stuff.
Well,
in all kinds of forms.
Well, there's not going to be enough of that. I mean, I think I did the math. The 300.
Yeah, I know. That's the great thing about it.
Yeah,
Don't wait till that point.
The 300 kilos. 300 kilos will only make about 11 million 2mm squares.
Yep. Like I said, you do the economic math that they teach in the schools on how to do, supply, demand, all this other stuff. And you run those numbers and you look at, I often use the comparison. If you want to know what's going to happen to the silver price when it starts, quote unquote, running out, it's going to happen to osmium within 2 years. Jump on board and see how it works.
Yeah, no, it's, yeah, no, I think you're right there.
It's exactly what you're going to have to look forward to. Was that thunder?
Yes, we're getting it front and back at the moment.
Sweet. I hope you have a good roof.
It's metal.
Oh no!
Faraday cage, I guess.
Yeah. Or lightning rod.
Yeah, we live in an old 1930s, well, old for here, 1930s farmhouse.
Yeah, old for here.
Yeah, it's only made out of 2x4, stick framed.
Yeah, but they used probably up there. They probably used a lot of the
old growth,
wood.
old growth Douglas fir. Yeah.
I know around here when people start tearing stuff down, all your scrappers come in because in the Bay Area, the nicer, older places were done in redwood.
Right.
I redid a building in San Francisco, an old building. I think it was like 8 or 9 story. And the wood, they had wood columns. Started off at 2 foot at the base and went up to like 12 inches at the top floor. Heart of a redwood tree, each floor. I mean, it was the heart of the wood. And what we were doing is we were replacing that with steel to for earthquake code. And someone had already bid to come in and take all that redwood because it was redwood heart, the heart of red. You can't harvest that anymore. It was like priceless. And here this guy was renovating his building and he was going to get more money for renovating than the renovation cost. He was a lucky guy.
Selling the lumber on?
Yeah, because it was the heart of the redwood, 2 foot squares that were like 12 foot tall.
Yeah.
There's I think there's like 16 of them on the first and second floor that big. So we had like 32 of them that big. I mean, cha-ching. The heart of a redwood tree. You know how many people would bid on that? And it was already used, dried out, aged, all that good stuff. Yeah, I did a lot of wood drilling on that job as far as iron worker goes, because we didn't replace any of the rafters. We just drilled through them.
Oh, silver's making a move.
Right on.
29.50. Wow.
Let's see here. Takes me a little bit to do all this, but I do know how to do it. Present, share screen, spot price, share screen. There we go.
Platinum is up $2.
Can everyone see that? Palladium's up 10. And you notice how rhodium, it just maintains bid ask around the same. It never has a change.
Never moves.
Yeah, it never moves.
That's a dysfunctional market, then, I guess.
That's why I had why I have my theory on why the price of platinum is so low, because like I said, I believe that the miners only have that one mineral that they can maintain their profits off of because of the manipulation they signed up for when they joined BRICS.
Really?
That's my conspiracy theory. And like I said, we'll find out, because it also has a part to do with it. They're going to redo all their contracts and stuff, and if that 2-party system they now have to do, which is the first time in 30 years they've had to, works the way I think it will, the price of platinum will start going up. And that's when you want to own, was it Clear Air Energy? Because they're up there in the Thunder Bay area of Canada, and they already have a larger platinum vein discovered, and the mineral rights to mine it. It's just they said the price of platinum's too low right now, and they're going to wait to mine it till the price starts going up, more sustained up, and not just short term up. Like, was it 8 months ago? It like jumped up to 1,130 or something like that, and then it dropped back down. They're looking for more sustained up. So I'm seeing geopolitical and business both leaning to where it looks like a good scenario for platinum to start going up and might even retake its historical spot of twice the price of gold.
What is the annual production of platinum? Is it of a 30th or 40th of gold roughly, or have a look? Look at what we got going on out here now. Like,
oh, sweet. Yeah, you got like hurricane force winds going.
I know.
Holy cow. That's if you have a nice glassed in porch to go out there and drink your tea and watch all that stuff come down.
That's pretty scary out there. Whoa.
What are you guys doing? My cats are going off, sorry.
That's not going to help the Teton Pass situation. A big chunk of it fell down the mountain on Friday. So
what was that?
A big chunk of the Teton Pass, that's my route to work that links Idaho to Wyoming. It fell down the mountain on Friday.
Well, that's not nice.
It fell off the side of the mountain. And it's pretty funny. There was a crack, and it looked like they just tarmacked over it, and then the whole thing just disappeared.
Oh, I thought it was 6 million ounces is what I was going to say.
Wow, this is getting loud here.
Man, those are the good storms.
Hailstorm now.
Oh, sweet. Oh, back off the window if it's hail.
Oh, they're big. Woo.
Yeah, I've seen a couple hailstorms up in, I don't recall what state. I think it was Arizona or New Mexico or something where they're like 6 inches round, 5 inches round, 4 inches round.
Yeah.
Breaking windows and stuff.
I'm glad I got the dogs out this morning. I don't think they'd want to go out in this. Weather is an incredible thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I saw something on H2O. Gosh, I wish I studied more on water. Something about rain. They could get energy from it or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to run my mouth too much. I didn't do too much studying on it. So it's something new.
I can officially say we're getting large hail now. I don't know if you can see that, or was that just a reflection?
No, I'm seeing those trees whoop, though. You're getting a lot of wind. Mostly reflection. Stephanie says that Denver got a bunch of hail today.
Yeah, if the power goes out, I'll say goodbye now. We quite often will get half-hour power outage once it gets this bad.
Well, how do you get to work?
Oh, without the pass, I've got to.
Yeah.
I have to go around through Pine Creek Pass, Swan Valley, past the Palisades Reservoir, into Hoback and into Jackson, the long way round.
So about an extra hour?
About 60 miles. So.
Oh, God, hour and a half.
So it's an hour 50 instead of 30, 40 minutes. So another hour and 10 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, yeah. So it'll be about 600 miles a week extra.
Hey, oil, you invest in Chevron, man. Get some of your money back.
No, I drive electric.
Oh, okay. Right on.
I pay 2 cents a mile to drive.
Sweet.
Yeah. We took the plunge after 2 years talking about it, thinking about it. We bought the F-150 Lightning pickup.
Nice.
You know, I thought of all the manufacturers, for all of their faults, at least you got some backup with Ford.
Yeah.
And so far I've done 12,000 miles and it's been absolutely incredible. My only maintenance is topping up the screen wash. So,
hey, Long Live Coins is joining us.
Where's he been? Where's he been hiding? Did the hail get you, Long Lived?
I don't know. It looks like he and Steph were having a conversation.
Oh, okay.
He said no hail yet.
They look pretty darn big. They look about 3/4 of an inch, some of the big ones.
Just enough to screw up the car paint job and put a few dents in it.
I hope not, because the F-150, they're aluminum, so hopefully it survived.
So what else do you have going on with the your business? As far as you said, you were setting up display or an area for osmium pieces that people made or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's our objective to have all of the makers around the world to have an example of their work. We would love to get one of the Swiss watchmakers, get a deal with them to have those on display.
It would be nice.
Yeah. If not, I'll just have to make my own, won't I? Like we were talking.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
If they don't want to get on board, they get left behind.
Yeah.
That's why I had mentioned earlier I didn't want to go with that one name brand that you had mentioned, but maybe go in a different direction of companies that have more vision than the established companies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because, you get this mindset if you've been around for 50 years that your stuff's just good. You don't need anything else. You know what I'm saying? So you stop looking for innovation and,
right.
Yeah.
And eventually you become a legacy business. Yeah.
Second market.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope to be turning out a couple different sets. I look to, with what I'm going to do with the gyms, I'm looking to do like earrings, ring, pendant, like of all one gym, and then like it's sets, because I believe they full jewelry sets. I believe. I could be wrong.
So
I don't know.
We've got a question there. Maximum temperature for osmium. So when they crystallize it, we'll have to get it over 9,000 Fahrenheit to boil it to get it into a vapor. In its crystalline form, they recommend not taking it over 400 centigrade. 400 centigrade. I don't know what the conversion is.
Ooh, 400 centigrade would be like 850 Fahrenheit, something like that.
So they recommend you don't heat it beyond that, as you might start to get some oxidization of the crystallization.
And once that happens, it turns to dust, literally.
You'll be breaking down the crystalline structure. Yeah, you'll be turning it back to what's called osmium sponge. Oh, here we go, Jan. Thank you. 752 Fahrenheit.
That was $100 off.
That's a recommendation to jewelers. So if you are soldering, or that's don't take it past that 725 Fahrenheit. But yeah, you have to get it over 9,000 Fahrenheit to get it into a vapor.
Lay off JM79. Yeah, I'm looking forward to actually seeing my nose rings. I'd like to.
Have you not seen one yet? Have you not got a picture?
No, that's
No?
the daggone bad thing about it. You know, you pay for something, you get it created, and have someone else throw it together, and still waiting to see the finished product when they're already selling it.
They didn't send you a picture.
No,
Oh,
I haven't seen it. I'm out in the dark going, I want the Ford display so I can start selling it. I already
yeah.
have people up here ready to buy this stuff. But it's cool. It is what it is. It's a very fluid market. Because once I get them, I'm going to promote the heck fire out of them.
Well, I think the storm is
already passed.
North. I think it's heading north, yeah.
Oh, so it was just a bad front. Cool.
I think so.
Excellent.
We're surrounded by where we live. There's mountains on 3 sides.
So you get microclimates.
Yeah. Normally the weather pattern breaks on the other side of the mountains, whichever way it's coming. So probably means Jackson had an absolute hammering in that. Probably means another piece of the past is washed away as well. I can show you a picture. Actually, somebody sent me a picture. It's pretty extreme. There we go.
Sweet, man. You should just take your Forerunner to work, man.
Yeah, but where it's fallen off the edge, that is a steep. It's like a 17.
So wear a helmet. Just wear a helmet.
Yeah. Well, it's still. If you look in the background, there's another big crack. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, down the center. Yeah.
So that bit's getting ready to carve off now.
Well, what you have to look forward to now is they'll probably put like big rebar concrete pillars there to hold up the road structure. That won't happen to.
Problem is, where the landslip has happened, it's really steep and it goes down. So they'd have to get something into that to anchor to build a wall.
No, not a wall. A pillar for a road system, an elevated road system. You could go back 50 foot,
I guess,
and drill and find it. But it depends on the geology of the land.
We're talking rural Idaho here. I don't
kind of money getting spent.
Well, yeah. I mean, this piece here, they patched it because there was a crack formed, so they just dug it out and put 8 inches of blacktop over it, and then that happened. It's like, didn't anybody think to look what's underneath? like I don't know.
Talk to you later, OTG. But anyhow, so no windows broken in that little hailstorm we just had. That's a good thing.
I don't think so. I will be checking the truck out in the morning, see if it looks like a golf ball surface. I presume they've been doing aluminum cabs, I think, since 2017. I think Ford switched because it saves 700 pounds of weight on the pickup.
Oh, that's a good thing for as mileage goes, especially if you're going for an electric. You want
it offsets the battery weight. Yeah, because it's still got a 1-ton payload.
Well, batteries are expensive and heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, baby.
But it only works if you've got cheap electricity. We pay 6 cents a kilowatt here because we're on a hydroelectric co-op.
Electric, I'd say,
I think you pay what, 35 where you are now?
yeah, we pay a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
You're
greedy
hoping to
people in power.
you're hoping to escape California one day, aren't you?
Shortly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, the story here, JM, was in 1939 there was no electricity in Teton Valley, Idaho, and the big companies weren't interested. They couldn't see any profit in it, so all of the settlers, the farmers, they all got together and formed a cooperative and built their own network and a hydroelectric. And now we get the benefit all those years later.
And that's the great thing about small company over big company.
And a community getting together to do something. Yeah, not a corporation owning it.
Yeah, as
You
a
can
community getting together.
Yeah, you can bet your life if it was one of the big networks, it would be same price as your electricity now.
Yeah, it would be profit margin.
Yeah,
that's the great thing about the smaller local combined. However it's done, the smaller localized businesses are so much better because you're not working for someone else's profit margin.
Yeah,
that's when things get wonky.
It's probably why they put so many small businesses out of business, wasn't it, during the pandemic? Probably part of the plan. Just keep corporate, getting everything more and more corporate.
Well, actually, hey, what's up, ATM? Nuclear's going to be a lot bigger in our future than anyone else seems to.
Hasn't proved inexpensive yet, though, has it?
Actually, yeah, the SMRs. There's this one company.
Oh, the small modular reactors.
Yeah, it's a startup company. It's only been around for like 5 years, and they've already, like, over 14 months ago, had 25 contracts in Eastern Europe for different corporations and cities to build SMRs, and it takes about a year to complete them, and they've already completed 25 of them.
Okay.
So there's 25 areas of Eastern Europe that have gone to a more self-sufficient energy system, and it's due to SMRs. And actually, better than SMRs is these things called the micro reactors that actually will fit on the back of a semi truck, and it's portable. So, like, say, like another Hurricane Ivan hits, or Hurricane Katrina hits New Orleans and the power's out.
Yeah.
The government could just truck down one micro nuclear reactor. Boom, the city's got power. You don't need any. It's not a permanent thing, but it's a good temporary to power like 300,000 houses.
So what about security, though? You would have thought they could become a target.
That's our own government's dumbass fault for making things hard on themselves like that, huh?
I guess.
So they got to pay for security somehow, and then they'll get it out of us. But if you look at it, they've already had the small modular reactors out. What do you think our nuclear subs are?
Yeah.
They're actually a micro reactor that lasts about 30 years. Always on.
The Gerald Ford has got 2 nuclear power plants, hasn't it? The aircraft.
Yep. Aircraft carriers. They're also they are a version of the micro, not the small modular, but the micro reactor. And just if you know anything about the physics or talk to a physicist, when it comes to nuclear, the smaller you go, the safer it gets. Because you need less there's more redundant systems.
You can build in more redundancy. Yeah.
And there's less reason for the redundancy, but you have more of it. It's like a double win the smaller you go. I'm a big fan of the small micro nuclear technology and hydrogen for humans.
I don't know, though. It always seems to take humans. If you put a human in, it gets messed up somewhere along the line. I don't know. It's like, I mean, Chernobyl, wasn't it? They were doing a practice, and
that's when you're doing tests on stuff. Again, I look at the exact same thing you look at, but the other side of the coin. How many nuclear subs do we still have operating since Chernobyl that have had absolutely no problem?
Yeah.
You see, and we've had more nuclear subs that have had the same reactors since then that have had zero issues than whatever Russians were doing. And of course, they don't have rules and regulations to follow. And that's the reason why, one of many reasons why I do my shows on Africa, because Russia is building a lot of nuclear power plants in Africa, and they don't have a very good safety record. No. I would rather it be America, and we should be working in a more geopolitical sense to be the ones building those, because we have better regulations for building nuclear bombs that create power. Russia just kind of sort of builds a nuclear bomb that'll go off one day, and until then you're making power. Yeah, they got 2 going in Egypt and 1 going in Burkina Faso. They're building right now as we speak. Kind of sucks, but I'm not going to live near no nuclear power plant built by Russians.
I had heard that the gas-cooled reactors can be incredibly efficient if you use the heat to create hydrogen, and then you can use that hydrogen for your
hydrogen is a relatively new concept for nuclear power industry. And
I was saying what I was saying is to use the heat, which you've got to get rid of from the nuclear reactor.
Yeah,
use that to create hydrogen. I think they're doing that with a gas cooled. I think that's the route Japan's going to take.
Japan does some crazy stuff. Those guys think interestingly.
Well, they're going all in, aren't they? And they're putting in a hydrogen infrastructure across the whole of Japan. So it looks like they might completely skip EVs.
No, they've wanted to. This whole push for EVs. Japan has been the big pusher. That's why they didn't really go all out on EV cars like Ford and all these other companies. They threw out 1 or 2 models and stayed with their combustion engine and regular stuff. And they've come up because it's still according to the quote unquote green energy future. Their plan, the Japanese plan, is to offer 3 or 4 power plants to the consumer. Because if you have 3 or 4 choices, you're more than likely not to choose a combustion engine. And just in that choice, you're lowering the emissions of everyone because of those choices. The more choices you give them, and they did the math and they said, no, this is the way it's going to work. But because of, and the video just turned out today, just probably a half hour ago, I did on EV cars in China, showing how governments manipulate things for their own advantage, not for long-term sustainability, for which the EV car has no long-term sustainability. So our government did the same thing by pushing Elon Musk's Tesla technology with the EV vehicle.
Right.
So our government's just as guilty as the Chinese government. They're just going to fall first because they got more cars sitting in parking lots that aren't used. But whatever. Yeah, if you put, I see the big picture.
And the ones they are using, they're using electricity from coal-fired power stations.
Yeah, it does absolutely no good. Exactly.
You might as well make a steam car. Just burn the coal in the car.
I often have tell this story. The first people to develop the engine wasn't who they say it was. It was back in the Greek era, a long time ago, because they've discovered this little toy, and they kept it as a toy, and it was a literal steam engine. It was a brass ball that had 2 side pipes going in the same direction with curved S's to them, and you filled the thing up with water, stuck a candle under it, and it spun around.
Okay.
And no one thought of putting paddles on it. But they had the steam engine. It was a toy for children.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, man, I see why you didn't make me live back then. I'd have taken over the world. Boy, those guys are going fast. Yeah, buddy, my guys are ready for war. They're not rowing. They have all their energy. We're getting there with steam power, baby. There's water all around us. And I burn your ship for the steam. So as long as I can burn your ship, I got steam. Oh, ATM says he still has a steam. Is that on a tractor? I actually saw something highly interesting on another whole area of mechanics. It was I dig it. He does like makes ponds and stuff, builds dams and stuff, earthen dams to make lakes for people and stuff. And he was at this. He was in Sweden or Switzerland at an old school industrial plant where they first started making moving equipment, right? And this lady was like, "Oh, let me show you this," and she showed an air-powered engine that was over 100 years old. That was a tractor, and it still worked. It worked on compressed air that moved the pistons. I was like, man, they had air power 100 years ago. We could have. How hard would it be to fill up your car with compressed air? You know what I'm saying? How expensive would that be? You know. Somehow we got snookered into going on oil and making the Saudis rich. What's up with that?
Yeah, my dad bought me a steam traction engine. I used to have great fun putting methylated spirits into a little burner. Yeah, it was a fun toy. Yeah, mixing flammable alcohol and steam. Nothing to go wrong there.
Yeah. Hold on a second, I'm getting some stuff ready here. We'll show some people a little. Let me get rid of the virtual background. All right, ignore the knife. And let me get this out of the way here. This right here and these right there, and a 3mm round of osmium, or on these, and this one little piece right here, this bit.
You're not on the screen, Neil.
Oh, I'm not on the screen.
No.
Oh, hey, what the heck?
You're hiding somewhere.
Oh, there we go. There we go. This bit right here, where's the camera at? Yeah, this little bit right here fits on like a Dremel. Now, the Dremel's not the best thing. It doesn't have a lot of RPMs. I'm going to change that up. But that bit, and I've got inset into this jewel.
Oh, cool.
And it's small enough that all of these are the Alexandritites. And this right here, and then I got osmium inset into every one of these. And I can do it with any gem. Anyone can. Imagine this amethyst with a piece of osmium in the center of it. Let's see if I can't get that light. Yeah, there we go. The osmium right there.
Where did you get your gems from?
I'd have to look at the paperwork. Online gem store.
Okay.
Not going to give away all my secrets. But yeah, that's how easy anybody can get in this stuff and start building stuff. I mean, I like, these didn't turn out like I wanted. Or Ethiopian opal, white opal. We pull one. They're not that cute.
Opals are softer, aren't they?
Yeah, they're more on the stone side.
Okay.
Gem hardness. But yeah, you can't really, it's not showing the color. Hold on. Cam light. Believe it or not, you're not seeing it, but there's color all over.
Yeah, I can see the colors. Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking something like that, but I didn't like this, that they hadn't, that they didn't. This is obviously just someone made a gym and throw these off to the side. Although there is, I don't know if you can see this. Red.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Yeah, and it's hard to get red. I mean, where it's got the red reflection in it.
Yeah.
And that's all through there. It's all Ethiopian piece that I'm gonna have to like that one you showed that had the different gems in it. Every fifth one was osmium.
Yeah.
I'll have to cut this into one and make it like one of five, every fifth or something like that.
Yeah.
Not good to them. They're not what I thought they were going to be. That was a mistake, but it was a good mistake.
You still using your neighbor's internet?
Yeah, she likes messing. I'm not on the screen. Thanks, JM. Already got that one. Questions too. Hawaiian iron workers shirt. Hawaii. Yeah, get some of my nose rings to him so you can auction them off. There we go. And everyone's eyes is behind my head. So are you going to show us some more osmium pieces, some more jewelry pieces, or have you already shown us everything and you're not holding back any good stuff?
Don't think I'm holding back. Go back into my camera. You've seen the Panther bar, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually have that commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I don't know if I have. Let me check.
Yeah, they sold all 500 of those.
No, we don't have it set up. See, if JM was up here, he'd have it set up for me.
Oh, that's one of my dice with all the pieces laid out, ready to build the dice up. So
wow.
When I assemble the dice, I've got a plan. The plan, my guy who machined the
yeah.
silver.
Yeah.
So each one is allocated to a certain spot on the dice.
Yep. Because of the security code.
Yeah. So you can identify each piece is still positioned. So I don't think I had any more. Oh, I might have. Yeah.
See, I go for the simple, easy stuff. The nose ring actually goes back in the tube that the crystallized osmium came out of, so it stays with the number and the carrying device. Carrying tube. Although having a schematic with the piece adds authenticity to the art form of the piece and gains relative value because of that.
Yeah, I think I showed them all. Oh. Oh, no, we missed the pendant. Picture's not in focus, but that was a pendant they'd made to go with that necklace.
Oh, nice. I take it that's done in platinum?
I think it was white gold.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that Fossil is one of my favorites. I might have to copy that idea, I guess.
Man, that is a beautiful one for sure.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That is actually, my favorite that you've shown for sure. But that, it's art, so
yeah,
everyone sees things differently, and everyone's.
Oh, I've just noticed it's actually got a silver. It's actually mounted in silver or platinum. I guess that's silver. I didn't see that before. The whole thing is edged in silver.
Nice.
If I magnify that, you can see it's all.
Oh, sweet! Yeah, to hold it to give the attachment point to it.
I guess, and to give it some protection, maybe. So
it's a thin slice. That's probably for protection as well. Yeah,
could be. Yeah, I need to experiment. I've got some ideas of doing that with sort of cross sections of some dense grained wood. We've got some real slow growing trees at altitude here, so even some of the pine trees have incredibly fine dense grain.
Oh yeah,
so I might experiment with some slices of wood.
That'd be nice. Again, it just adds to what I say of it's an open canvas, a new product line in turning into jewelry is it's open canvas. Your imagination is the limits of that canvas, and it's financial gain from it's going to be awesome. Like it encourages creativity. They don't teach about this stuff in liberal arts colleges. They want creativity.
Oh, silver's up over 1%. That was quite a smackdown on Friday, wasn't it? A $2 hit job.
We're going to see more of that. Up and down, and
more volatility. Yeah,
and that happens, kind of sort of before a crash, doesn't it? So if everyone's talking about crash, it's anticipated to see even more, up 6, down 2, up 6, down 4. It's going to be $10 swings here. Yeah, it's going to be a fun ride. More precious metals you have in your grubby little hands, the better off, people.
So what do you think, Neil? If I get a platinum and osmium product, do you think it should be a round or a bar?
For platinum?
Yeah.
What do you mean, to inset with osmium?
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a platinum something minted.
I'd do a bar.
You go for bar, you think?
Yeah, because if you go with, you got to watch out for legal reasons. You don't want to do sovereign coins because I think.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because manipulating a sovereign coin could be considered illegal. But I'm not.
No. I'd be getting something produced brand new. Yeah, wouldn't be using an existing.
I would actually do both because they've already kind of sort of done the gold panther bar.
Well, that company is going to do another edition with an eagle. I think they're going to work through every animal they can go.
If it's profitable, keep rolling for sure.
Until they can't sell anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I would actually, knowing that, I'd lean more towards the round.
Oh, there's ATM. Yeah, that's the Isle of Man Noble. That is my favorite.
Got the Norse Vikings. They came from most of them came from Norway.
And the young queen. So
actually, I think isn't that a little bit before Diana passed away?
Oh, way before, yeah. 1984.
Yeah, like 5 years. Yeah, that is a beautiful coin, ATM. But I love any platinum anything.
Yeah, you got me back into it, Neil.
Man, platinum's play.
Yeah, it's a hard choice: platinum, silver, or osmium. So
Go with all three.
yeah,
That's what, buy silver, platinum, and osmium, crystallized osmium. It's the play to make. That's why I always say.
yeah, that's a good point. Long lived. If you've got a little bit of exposure to each, get a huge move in one, then you can move to the one that's undervalued.
Yeah, that goes with the same premise of crystallized osmium compared to silver as far as when it runs out. You jump from one to another, and you've already got a model of what the pathway it'll look like.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, if you've got any gold, you just sell your gold and buy platinum. Really, yeah, I think
pretty much. Right now, especially, oh my God, right now, historically, if I ever had gold, I would probably at 2-to-1, I would have traded it in for platinum. I wouldn't have waited till this price point.
And we're at what we're at now, 2.36.
So it's 2.36 to 1.
Yeah,
beautiful. That's outstanding.
Yeah,
that is the ultimate play.
And the all-time low is 0.42.
Yep.
So 0.42 on my calculator is somewhere.
Yeah, we're looking at that is now price 12, 11, 1050, 1070.
So that's a factor of 5.62 on the ratio.
Yeah.
So for it to correct to its all-time low, the ratio, that's over 5.5 times out of whack.
Yep. Because look back to, was it March 2008? Platinum was 2230 and gold was 1011. I froze out again, didn't I? What's up, Gerald? Can you guys still hear me in chat? Or is it me that froze up? Okay, the storm might have hit Ian out. He might be gone. How's it going, Gerald? Yeah, he froze. He's calling. Hold on. Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, the power outage came.
Yeah, I was just telling people we probably had a power outage from the recent storm.
Yeah.
All good, my brother. It's all
might
good.
Take a while for my internet to reboot.
I'd go get that cheeseburger.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go raid the freezer. So I'm overload. My wife's down in Oklahoma teaching. So
the second best thing is raid the freezer.
Us just our boys here. Just my 2 dogs and me.
Yeah, sorry about the power thing.
That's all right.
I appreciate you coming on, though, as always.
You're welcome.
I do hope that their evening is good for you and no more nasty storms come around.
Yeah, I think it's clearing.
Right on. Well, if you want to say goodbye to everyone, I think they can hear you. I got you on speaker.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
As you can tell.
Give Neil a hard time having crap internet, please.
Right on. Yeah, JM said that he heard you. All right, I'll let you go, brother. Thank you for giving me your time this week. I'll talk to you later.
You're welcome. And, I'll let you know when the next stash of 2mm will be on their case first thing tomorrow.
All right. Thank you very much, my friend. Have a good evening.
All right. Take care now.
Bye-bye. Right. Anyone else want to step up on stage? Dag nabbit, Gerald, you're just too slow on the button pushing, brother. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end this stream. I hope y'all got some good intel out of Ian. Hope I didn't disrupt him speaking too much. And have a good evening, gentlemen and ladies.